南先生っていらっしゃいますか？いない。先生どうしましょうかね。インバイテッドトークの部分が多分穴場なので少し長めに。ああ、すみません。じゃあ南先生にバッジいらないから来てくださいって送っていただけると。時間的には大丈夫だから。はい。先生でもあって。インバイテッドトーク。ここバッジなくても入ってこれるので。バッジなくていいから。バッジ頭に。こちらどうぞ。お座りください。あ、前の方いいです。そこどうぞ。スリーミングそれぞれ。じゃあ南先生も名前入れても大丈夫ですか？どうですか、直接さん。はい。1週間ある。順番。南先生、よければ、各先生の、私の後、その後、あれがいいんじゃない？フランスのそうですね。じゃあ、つながりとして。順番逆にします。そうはいいと思う。じゃあ、先生。その後、ラバルバーチャルの方がいい。で、その後、じゃあ、順番変わりまして、B の後に3番目に。じゃあ学生の後に。deuxième. Okay. Juste après ta professeur partie. Oh. もうかなりいっぱいだ。大丈夫。ありがとうございます。じゃあ、先生方どうぞ着席してください。じゃあそろそろ始めましょうか。Ready?
Réussi à télécharger la présentation. C'est pas grave.
Thank you very much for your coming. The session will start soon. So
please make sure to share everything. The session, the photography and the recording is encouraged. And the session is live streaming by SIGGRAPH Official YouTube. So if you have your friend who is attending your home countries and your colleagues who want to be here in SIGGRAPH, so this is the first session in the end of the week. Please give a link. I've prepared a Bitly short link and also QR code. Please dispatch, share on your network. So SIGGRAPH is open-minded to share your experience, and also we are welcome to see each other. So the value of the SIGGRAPH is coming to the face-to-face communication, and also you are the antenna of the network. Okay, is ready? Is okay? Okay. So welcome again. Welcome to the Laval Virtual Meeting International Collegiate Virtual Reality Contest IVRC 2018. Thank you for coming. So thanks again for all participants and come on. All guests, all speakers, all audience, first time to see. I'm from Japan. I'm a executive committee of IVRC and also a chairman of the Laval Virtual Revolution. Also currently working in GRI, a game company in Japan, VR Studio Laboratory. I'm Akihiko Shirai, doctor in entertainment virtual reality. So I'm session chair for a long time, from 2001. And this is the 18th edition of VOF meeting. That's pleasure. Like a lot of people organize a VOF, like Brenda VOF, city in Australia, city in Japan. So this is one of the main events in this week for me. So as I said, this is a photography under broadcasting recording is encouraged. So please send the link of this session. So your friend can see from all ends of the world by SIGGRAPH official YouTube channel. So today's agenda here is now I'm talking about the opening address, and the next is by Professor Susumu Tachi from Japan. He's talking about what is IVRC, the 26th edition. And after the, sorry, it has incorrect. Oh, sorry. I'm reloading. Yes, Google Slide is good to update everything on real time. That's a very real time solution. So the session will going to France by Guy Lebras, talking about Laval Virtual from France. And after his presentation, here is today's main event by student project by student. The team Gom Gom Shooting from Tokyo Tech, Japan. The team is also accepted by SIGGRAPH Emerging Technology in this week. And after the student session, we have our guest from Tokyo Tech, Tokyo University. He's also from Tokyo Tech, Masahiko Inami. He is the past chairman of SIGGRAPH Emerging Technology. So after his talk, I will conclude some announcement and make a photo session. So let's start the opening. Let's go into the next session by Professor Tachi. Please, please. すみませんが、クリックをお願いしてもいいですか。三崎先生、すみません、お願いします。So, I will introduce Professor Mitake. He is also from Tokyo Tech and also a member of IVRC committee. Please have Welcome, Professor Tachi. Please give up.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
I would like to talk about the history of virtual IVRC, International Virtual Reality Contest. So what is IVRC? It's an International Collegiate Virtual Reality Contest, which was established in 1993, so 25 or 26 years ago. And the contest of interaction and virtual reality, which is we would like to use arts and technology. And we honor the greatest virtual reality interactive contents from students. So it's kind of a new education system through contest. And it's organized by the Virtual Reality Society of Japan. It's a Japanese academic organization which was established in 1996. So it's very long history. It has also a very long history. And it's sponsored by Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, and also Ministry of the Education and Culture and Science and Technology, and also Embassy of France. Okay, so it's maybe we can say it's a contest of the students, by the students, and for the students. So everything we would like to do by the students, from the planning, technology, design, and team management. And also they have some kind of the ability to write proposals and also present them for the public and make the system real. Maybe they are sitting all night for several times and they made things working in real stage. So this year, IVRC 2018 timeline. So we accepted proposal submission from the students, and right now we have the youth stage and the maybe senior high school students will have the opportunity to participate in the contest. So first stage, we have the proposal review and the 115 submissions, and we have selected 22 demos from the students. And the second stage will be done at the annual conference of Virtual Reality Society of Japan. Virtual Reality Society of Japan annual conference will be held in September. At that time, we have these 22 teams will gather together, and they have made the real things happen. Okay, and the third stage will be the Digital Content Expo, which will be held in November. And at that time, it's Makuhari Messe in Japan, and with the Interb convention. So in the general student category, 10 demos, and 4 youth category, and also the international video session, and also Laval Virtual invited work. So they will compete for the grand final. Okay. So these are the same thing, but we have the concept description, updating, and they come to the final stage. After that, they are chance to have go to SIGGRAPH and also Laval Virtual, and also there are several kind of chances, opportunities for the student to actively to show their works internationally. So I think we have these kind of the waves of the 3D and virtual reality. So it's almost about 30 years kind of the cycle. If we see the history of virtual reality and the 3D.
So it's a dawn of 3D. At that time, no name of the 3D. It was in 1920. Mechanical shutter system was invented, and also this kind of the anagraph. It was invented, and it was done by movies, but almost no one knows about it. We know it by history. And in 1950, first 3D craze was happened. And at that time, the name of the 3D craze was named. And we also have the 1980, it was the theme park, adding to the movies, and the second 3D craze. And recently, we have the third 3D craze. It's in 2010. At that time, not only the movies, movies and the theme park, but also games and TV and computers are becoming 3D. And when we have the 3D, we thought we would like to have much more. In these 3Ds, it's not interactive, not so much. And also, it's not the 3D of the whole world, only some kind of through the window. Only through the window we can see the 3Ds. We would like to be immersive 3Ds. And we would like to have interaction with the object of the 3D. So that is the virtual reality. So that is the reason why 10 years after 3D craze, we have the virtual reality. So the first virtual reality was in 1960s, but it's dawn of virtual reality. At that time, virtually no one knows about it. Modern high league, Sensorama. You know, Sensorama was a very nice system, but it's not known. Sensorama by Morton High League, it's a very nice system to see and interact, and also smell can be felt. And also the Ivan Sutherland work in 1960s. It was in 1968, so maybe tomorrow we'll have the Ivan Sutherland here to hear these things from Ivan Sutherland. It's a sword of Damocles. Anyway, it was the dawn of virtual reality. The first wave of virtual reality was in 1990s. At that time, the virtual reality, the world of the virtual reality was born, and lots of things happened. All the concepts were and at that time, we have the virtual reality contest. We thought at that time, if this virtual reality new technology will be going up or will be received by everybody, it must be received by the young generation. It must be accepted by the young generation, and it must be supported by the young generation. That is why we started the virtual reality contest in 1993. And it's 26 right now. Maybe we'll have the second virtual reality wave right now, maybe toward 2020. Anyway, it's in the virtual reality in 1990. 1989, VPL research data graph and iPhone. iPhone is not the iPhone, EYE phone, iPhone. Anyway, this is the first system of the virtual reality. Anyway, we have the Santa Barbara conference at that time. It was MIT Engineering Foundation, and the virtual reality researchers are summoned. And we thought there are lots of these works, but this is the first time that we have the worldwide virtual reality academy. And we have the 1991, we have the ICAT, International Conference on Virtual Reality and Teleexistence. in Japan. And also, 1993 IVRC virtual reality contest was held. And also 1993 VRACE, Virtual Reality Annual International Symposium, was held. It is the IEEE Virtual Reality Conference right nowadays. Anyway, these kind of the things happened in 1990. So it's the first wave of the virtual reality. Okay. And the second wave, maybe you saw this Time magazine, and this is the second wave, and we see lots of the virtual reality everywhere right now. So maybe next step is the autostereoscopy display without the glasses, special glasses, or a haptic virtual reality, haptic VR. And also augmented reality, teleexistence. You feel like you are over there. Instead of being here myself, maybe robot is here, and I'm in Japan, and I talk like this, and I saw you, and lots of interaction. That is teleexistence. And also human augmentation. These are the new technology must be done for the next generation. Besides with the history of virtual reality, we have this kind of the IVRC history with SIGGRAPH. It was in 2002 that the first students' work was selected as the e-tech work, and it was virtual chamber. We have this kind of the interaction with the gyro. We have this kind of the reaction. And this was the 2002. And after that, there are lots of the works which was accepted at the e-tech. And the next one. So recently, childhood. Maybe you remember this one. This is the kind of the experience you become a child, and maybe you have the very different side, and maybe you have lots of the new findings by this kind of system. Okay. So we have lots of the international cooperation, IVRC with ETC. Next one. Yeah, okay. Okay. And also with the international cooperation with Laval Virtual. Okay. And this is some kind of the Laval Virtual agreement. Okay. Okay, next one. Okay, next one. Okay, next one. So we have the 26 years, more than 200 projects has been realized through IVRCs and also SIGGRAPH e-tech. If we think average 5 persons for each project means over 1,000 persons have deeply experienced and understood virtual reality through this IVRC contest. And at that time they are students, but they become staff and now becoming worldwide from famous professors and designers, creators, and engineers. So they are supporting this second generation virtual reality wave. So they were born at the first wave. And maybe 25 or 30 years passed, and they have become right now the very active, famous professors, creators, and the designers and engineers, and they are supporting interactive technologies. So this is maybe you can see the archive from the URL of this one, next one. And these are alumni members. Maybe you'll find some of them faces, familiar faces, might be. Okay. So, this is the end of my talk, and thank you for your attention. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor Tachi. And IVRC also wish to thank to the this year's partner companies. I will like to announce from the Diamond by Green. It's privately myself, and also the team is supporting by the hiring for the young talent. And also thanks to Mercari company. Mercari is one of the unicorn company in Japan who is working for the second-hand trading internet services. And also the platinum partner Unity Technology Japan. Also thanks to partnership. Also Unity is sponsorship for the SIGGRAPH also. And a gold partner, SolidRay. SolidRay is the one of the most long history virtual reality material and trading company in Japan. Dospara is a computer equipment company in Japan. And silver partners by Crawware. Crawware is audio middleware for game development. Denon is one of the game company and also IT solution like automotive, autonomous automotive. And V Plus is the computer vision company. Thanks again for the partnership in 2018. We are also open for the partner program. Please keep in touch if you also think to participate as this edition IVRC 2018. So we are going to the next speaker from France. Guy Leblanc. Do you prefer the latest version? Okay, so please introduce by yourself. I will
Okay.
give everybody.
So, good morning to everybody. My name is Guy Lebras. I am the Vice President of Laval Virtual in France. I will show you some slides about the presentation of our event. Just to tell you that this event has been created in 1999. We have just the 20th anniversary edition this year in 2018. And in fact, at the beginning, it was built on a triptych between the business, the education field, and the academic field, and the general public. And it is really original because it is the only event in the year in the world where you have business with companies, academic with scientists, and also general public all together around one technology, which is the technology about virtual reality. There is a small video that introduces the general look about this event. As you can see, we have a lot of exhibitors, more than 320, coming from more than 50 countries, 9,000 square meters exhibition, and we address all the fields that interest virtual reality. That means it is very various, because virtual reality is present in all industries, all activities, from medicine to banking to automotive industry, and a lot of other industries. This year we had also a new art exhibition, because virtual reality is also very much used in the art field. We have also a VR contest with awards. We have tech talks with scientists from all over the world, from United States to Japan to Europe and many other countries. This edition was very special because it was the 20th edition. So we made a small story because this event has been built with the support of the local and national and European government. So it is really important to stress this fact that, in fact, we have the support of the government, which is original. And also, you can see that the next edition will be on March 2019. I think it is what I can tell about this event. There will be a call for competition. We have a competition part which is Revolution, Laval Virtual Revolution. Akihiko is responsible and will speak about. And also, if you want to have some more information, we have a booklet I will be able to give you at the end of the presentation this morning. If you are interested, you can have one with all the information and the email address to have more information about this important European event. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you can do it.
No.
So I'm also the part of the Laval Virtual. I will give some numbers, as of latest numbers. So the size is very similar with SIGGRAPH Asia, and also sort of the core of most one of the biggest event in Europe. And Laval is really looks like a middle-aged city, very calm, very high quality of life, and 1,000 people working in virtual reality. It's a sort of Silicon Valley of virtual reality in Europe. And one side here is a virtual reality center just opened last year. Last year. And students and innovations and a lot of events in this area. So, and also we have Laval Virtual Asia in China in every autumn. And here is a lot of transportable event, outreach event, and also consulting of the innovation using AR, VR technologies. So, and also here is the latest announcement about competitions. As Guy Lebras said, startup contest. It's a small company just funded, can give opportunity to show. And the financing, they have a panel talk event by key person of the funding in virtual reality. And AR VR contents is very similar with VR theaters in SIGGRAPH, focusing to the content. And the Laval Virtual Award is one of the big events in virtual Laval Virtual. This is a sort of Academy Award in virtual reality, the most longest history we have. And the Revolution is my part. I will talk it later. And virtual fantasy is a student competition. It have a compatibility with IVRC. So it's a sort of pre-competition in France and Europe region. And as Guy Lebras said, Recto Verso. So Recto Verso is a French word that say back and forth, or one side opposite, but also it's art competition in Laval Virtual. So we have art competition in Laval, and the citizen is welcome to see latest art and classic art in Laval Virtual. So we can see a lot of art project in Laval. So one side, Recto Verso off, is located in the public museum in the park, and we have installed the old stuff like legendary art in computer graphics history, And also we have different place and different animations, different VR installation out in the city. So if you are artist and if you have all the stuff like that, you can install it into the virtual Laval Virtual event. So please search like that, Laval Virtual, Recto Verso, or Art Festival on Google and YouTube. Okay, let's go into the next session. Please prepare. So the next speaker is from Tokyo Tech. リロードします一応。いいですか、大丈夫ですか。じゃあ自己紹介してもらってもいいですか。So is from Tokyo Tech, Mr. Shunki Yamashita. Okay, please give your talk.
Our project name is Gum Gum Shooting. Gum Gum Shooting allows you to experience that your arm stretches. With HMD and haptic device, when you punch and the arm of the avatar extends, the haptic device gives stimulation to the arm. Synchrony of visual and tactile sensation causes a sense of elongation of arms. Humans have dreamed of the superhumans. A superhuman is a human being who can do things that real people cannot do. For example, superhuman can be super powerful, can fly in the sky, and can become a giant person. People are not only making them appear in myths and fiction, but also trying to realize their abilities by technology. For example, HIL, Jetman, Big Robot, Optical Camouflage. ひなみ先生のこれですね、右下。Let's also consider superhumanization in VR. In the virtual space, the avatar's appearance and shape are free. By using this advantage, it may be possible to realize more various superhuman abilities. For example, it may be possible to elongate the body freely, like a One Piece character. In this project, we try to realize this body elongation. You may think that only the avatar deformation is enough to experience body elongation. However, even if the avatar deforms, you cannot truly experience superhuman abilities unless you can think that the avatar is the body of yourself. It is necessary to feel deformed avatar as your body, self-attribution. In real body, self-attribution is caused by linking motion and vision, and linking vision and physical sensation. The link between motion and vision is, for example, when you try to move your hand, you see the hand is moving. so you can feel that it is your own hand. The link between vision and physical sensation is, for example, when you see something touching the hand, you feel the corresponding touch sense with your hand. And so you can feel that it is your own hand. Now we have the question, is the self-attribution of the deforming body caused by the same factor? What is the physical sensation corresponding to that deformation? According to past studies, it turned out that we can elongate our arms with self-attribution. In the first study, slow elongation of arm was realized. In the second study, third person pulls a player's arm to give sensation of arm elongation. On the other hand, we consider that if we have a superpower to elongate our arm, we may wish to have fun of punching far away quickly, like comic hero attacks the enemy. Such application requires freedom of arm motion, compactness of the device, while the device gives appropriate physical sensation of body elongation. Therefore, we set our goal to find good physical sensations and to create wearable device for it. First, we considered about the physical sensation according to the body elongation. We selected forearm as the elongation target for easiness of making the device wearable. We assumed two sensations. First, while the arm being elongated, skin between elbow and wrist will be stretched. Second, the more the arm becomes long, the further the center of gravity of the arm becomes. Therefore, we created a device to reproduce these two sensations. This is the mechanism of our skin stretch device. When avatar hand elongates, attached parts deform to stretch forearm skin, and they are restored to original form when avatar's hand is shortened back. There's also sliding weight in the device. The weight slides forward when avatar hand elongates to give feeling that the hand becomes front heavy. We exhibited gong shooting at IVRC 2017 and Laval Virtual 2018. In both exhibitions, many people told us that they could feel as if their arm is elongated. They also said they had really fun. Evaluating self-attribution while using our method is still a future work for us. We'd like to evaluate that, how much strength of self-attribution being maintained and psychological hand position follows elongated hand position or not. We also think our device can be applied on different body parts, leg or neck, for example. It will be an interesting extension of our research. We are exhibiting at Emerging Technologies. Please come and try gong gong shooting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yamashita. So, how old are you? 何歳? 23. So, the first year of a master student. So, as you know, Japanese students cannot speak English not so fluent, but this is the first time oral session in his life. So, during the emerging technology in SIGGRAPH, his English will be fluent because of the 100 times per day to introduce how to play, what is the subject, what the future of this work, like animatic experience realizing in the virtual reality technology. So that's a good experience in the team. So that's why we are working for the student innovations through the competitions. So giving the opportunity, this is one of the best teaching for the young talent. So let's going to back to my slide. So the next speaker is Professor Masahiko Inami. He is a first winner of IVRC history. So please give a talk.
Thank you, Professor Shirai. Thank you, Dr. Shirai. Number 2.
Give me. Please switch to the computer.
Number 2. HDMI.
Input. Oh, sorry. Please operate.
Yeah, so this one, I think it's that one.
Okay. Okay. Good morning. My name is Masahiko Inami from University of Tokyo. So my first SIGGRAPH was in 1997. So at that time, so I was a second year of PhD student. Maybe. And so continuously, so this it means this is my 11th. No. 21st SIGGRAPH at this time. Then, so when I was a child, so one of my dreams is like to fly like a superhero, so a superhuman. But so when I was a junior high school student, I was so surprised. This is opening ceremony of Los Angeles Olympic in 1984. At that time, a person who put rocket belt flying over the stadium. Then I was so impressed. Then so I tried to develop this kind of superhuman technology or human augmentation technology when I joined the Tokyo Institute of Technology. Unfortunately, so one of our trial, which relates to a functional electronic stimulation based haptic display, was accepted as chosen as the first winner of international virtual reality contest. After that, I continuously research on this kind of human augmented technologies, such as optical camouflage and smart tools. This is a sort of haptic augmentation system. As well as spider vision, you are able to look your front side and back side simultaneously. And so last year, so one of our project, which is named MetaLimbs, was chosen as best in show prize. So SIGGRAPH 2017 Emerging Technologies. And so this is MetaLimbs. And this year, so we also show this is a sort of MetaLimbs 2.0. It is named Fusion. Also will present this emerging technologies. So please come and try this demonstration. So you are able to collaborate remote person through this kind of wearable robot. Unfortunately, it has already appeared on top page of MIT Technology Reviews. so we also present this kind of a drone type haptic display, which is named a Review Pole here. And so one of our students also present this kind of new type of biped robot, but it consists with drones like this. You can also control this one after this. And actually, recently, we just started new government-based new research project supported by Japanese government, which is called JST Erato Inami Jizai Body Project from last year. And so this is human-machine integrated technology to enhance our ability, not only just augmented perception, but also out-of-body transformation, shadow cloning, including assembling. And so this kind of research remind us. One of important research paper, which was written in 1960, which name is Cyborg and Space. So this is one of origin. In this paper, the authors coined the name of cyborg here. And the purpose is to expand our human ability or human living area outside of the Earth, extraterrestrial environment. But now, we don't have to modify our body by ourselves. So we are able to use, or we are combine the digital technology with us to expand our living area, towards around cyber physical space. And then, we are planning to host or organize a sort of digital cyborg Olympic in 2020. So as you know, Tokyo will host Olympics in 2020. Then, this kind of superhuman technology or human augmented technology, will contribute to establish new type of sports. So I think this is also one of the important challenge relates to this kind of IVRC or virtual reality issue, I believe. So please come and join to this event in 2020. Thank you very much.
Professor Inami. This. Thank you very much. Okay. So as he talked, we have a longer history, and also this is continuing for every year, every edition, every SIGGRAPH, and every Laval Virtual, every IVRC. The triangle is continuing for a long time. So this is a conclusion and the announcement part. We have 3 announcements in this moment. So the first one is IVRC 2018 video submission selection. And the second part is a little bit long about Laval Virtual Revolution, the next edition. And the third one is this week. So on Wednesday, 3 p.m. in eTech, we will announce the winner of Laval Virtual Award in SIGGRAPH 2018. So there's the winner of this award can join to Laval Virtual directory. So please join to the ceremony event on Wednesday. So what's the first one? We have a last chance to join to IVRC in this year. So please access to the website. So this is a very simple submission system. So you just go to submission and give the fill the form on Google form, and no charge needed. So please send the link of IVRC 2018 ivrc.net, and here is the schedule. Like that. So now we are here in October, and the main track is already chosen, and the youth track is already chosen. They are working to installate the semifinals and the finals, and also here is a Laval track. Laval Virtual choose the winner of French region, European region, and the winner is going to the final. And the international video track is here. So now you have a YouTube link. You can submit the project. So please send the link to your student. And also here is a submit element like general information, detailed description, aim of the project, innovation, presentation, how it works, representative video and additional materials, and floor plan, logistics plan, one image. So that's all. So, and also today's BOF, we can share about our evaluation element. We have discussed a lot, and this is very similar with the Laval Virtual submission and the SIGGRAPH emerging technology submission. So one element is innovation. The second one is technical challenge. The third one is impact of project. And the fourth one is safety and logistics overall. So all of the project should be respect the element, and if you have a very crazy, innovative student, please keep in touch or make discussion during the SIGGRAPH. You have a chance to optimize your submission. And also, I'd like to introduce our Call of Revolution next edition. So Revolution is the session in Laval Virtual every year. So Revolution is compatibility with emerging technology, and it have established in 2016. So every year we have thematic. For example, in 2017 we have named the Transhumanism Plus to be featured about superhuman sports. And also here is a lot of interesting projects have been organized. So you see in SIGGRAPH 2016, here is a winner from NVIDIA, and here is from Japan, and here is also from Japan by hologram medical project. Real Baby is also get win in SIGGRAPH 2017, and this is from German project, TTT Table Tennis Trainer. This is artistic project, also in commercialized project from Germany. It's augmented ping pong game systems. It is installed in the public event in Laval Virtual. And Light Air is also from SIGGRAPH 2016. So this is interaction system with a drone. And this is a locomotive detection system commercialized by university project. And Orbital View from France. Iceberg is a project work with NSA, astronaut simulator for the public. And the Suikawari is a Crash Watermelon. It's a traditional game in Japan, and also realized in augmented technology by Tama University. So here is a lot of animations, and also the Superhuman Sports is featured. So Superhuman Sports Society is organized by Professor Tachi Inami, and also always Olympic Games promoting organization, and it's featuring to be enhance the human possibilities, as Inami said. So some of the entertain projects have been commercialized, like Hado in Japan, and also it's exported into the Asia and Europe, and also all over the world. So you can play Hado in Shibuya if you want. So the Laval Virtual Revolution is organizing to such as commercialize, not only commercialize, but also very crazy innovation technology project that can give the new ideas for. So in Laval Virtual latest edition 2018, we have organized 1+1 = unlimited as a thematic. So here is a lot of project. I will introduce rapidly, like that. And Mochitsuki is a winner in IVRC 2017. Mochi is a rice cake. You can make the rice cake with a tactile feedback of the hammers. And artistic project also welcome, and the superhuman fighting sport. So it's a hybrid game, so it's a fighting game and a physical fighting game. So Professor Yoichi Yamazaki is also judoka in Japan. And also Iceberg have developed a new system for their flying system. And also Bearfield Masasuke Yamamoto, he's a media artist who integrate AR shooting game by mobile phone. AR imaging for the education and desktop interactivity with for education to see the machine learning visualization. And Professor from Osaka, Ando Sensei, he's the second winner of IVRC. His students have realized the GVS galvanic skin stimulus for virtual reality. You can feel the gliding by visual and electronode. So here is also AR image interacting by robotics, and also as Yamashita said, gum shooting is also animated. So and also you say in SIGGRAPH last year from Taiwan, Chinese student realized ROS enhancing locomotion experience by heating wind or wetting humidity. You can feel by the very small robot. So also from MIT, media art students have realized autonomous pencils to feel the thinking of AI. And also from a Japanese fabrication company realized visualization of crossing stores in 3D, and also analyzing the VR experience by mask of QR code. And the winner of the last edition in Laval Virtual, that was Real Pool and the Virtual Dolphin. So the name is Wild Dolphin Waterproof VR from Netherlands. The animation was like that. So this is my experience in Laval Virtual Revolution 2018. We have installed a pool, 3-meter pools, so with a very good comfortable temperature and filters. And this is in Expo, Laval Virtual. So we equip the swimsuits and the snorkels and special made HMDs, and we can feel the virtual dolphin. So that's a very good experience. So unfortunately, this project have been accepted by SIGGRAPH, invited SIGGRAPH, but unfortunately, very unfortunately, the realization is not alive to here. So we are challenging, but very, very challenging, but we are prefer to realize, to show this project in public. So that's a very interesting thing in Laval Virtual Revolution every year. So, so let's start to do the code. Yes, we are thinking about to seek the new age of the virtual reality experience. Now we work. I'm working in Japanese anime and VR game systems, and also now virtual YouTuber is coming. in Japanese culture. So she said, I am AI. I am Kizuna I, Kizuna artificial intelligence. And she gives her everyday interesting, funny comedian project, but also this is the link of the next gen of the human being. So Laval Virtual Revolution has a thematic like world performance VR applications and Frontier Village in virtual reality in 2014, Kitty Dream in 2015, Real Virtuality in 2016, and Transhumanism and 1+1 equal infinity. The next edition is VR 5.0. It's to be like that. As Professor Tachi have announced, that's be possible to think about the next generation of the virtual reality. Now we are 3.0 or 4.0, but we should be thinking about 5.0 with a very innovative experience tested by public. Not only academic society, not in your laboratory, not only in the virtual YouTuber, not only in superhuman sports. We should think about VR 5.0, when and where and how. So that's my theme. So let's submit Revolution VR 5.0 for the next edition of Laval Virtual. So thank you very much for 1 hour event in this week. So please make a group photo at the end of the event. Thank you very much for your coming. Thanks. Thanks for all the audience and thanks for all the speakers. You can take photo at the end. Okay, come on. Hi. 大丈夫です。どうぞ、どうぞ、山下さん、どうぞ。カモン、カモン、カモン。
keep the time because it will be live streaming from 11:30. Maybe you can do something tomorrow. Is it okay? Yeah, sorry, I just had to keep a time because it will be live streaming from this year. So, okay, so welcome to CG in Australasia. It's always like a full house like this, like every year. So thank you very much for coming. And every year we start with Animal Logic showreel, and we did a bit, but we couldn't really do right now because it shouldn't be live streaming for the copyright issue. So this time I will introduce like our speakers, Nicole from Animal Logic Sydney, and Ken Enzo, from, he's a SIGGRAPH Asia 2018 Tokyo Conference Chair, and Tomasz Bednarz, SIGGRAPH Asia 2019 Brisbane Conference Chair, sorry, and Mark Berry is a manager of the Visualization Lab at Sunshine Coast University. Okay, so I will pass mic to Nick.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks a lot, June. As she mentioned, my name is Nick Hoare. I'm a senior recruiter from Animal Logic in Sydney. Such a great turnout. I've been telling people I'm talking at this presentation and that there's going to be about 20 people there. I severely underestimated the crowd, so thank you for turning up. Animal Logic, as you can see by our byline, we think we create great work, but the important thing is that we create that great work with great people. We have an incredible crew working for us in Sydney, and we're lucky enough to now have a presence here in Vancouver as well. Just to give you a bit of history about Animal Logic, we've been around for 27 years, and we started in Sydney, which is where we still have a major facility, and we're very happy to now have a presence here in Vancouver as well. The two major production locations, Sydney and Vancouver, when we have a big show, it's happening either in Sydney or in Vancouver, and I'll talk a bit about the projects that we've currently got on in a moment. We do also have a very small pre-production studio in Los Angeles, which deals with a lot of our clients who are Hollywood-based, of course, doing development of projects before we go into full production. So we've worked on the Lego movies, which you're probably familiar with, starting with the Lego movie, and then Lego Batman and Lego Ninjago. Happy Feet, which incredibly went on to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Film that year. Peter Rabbit, which came out this year and has enjoyed a lot of success. The Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole. That's an animated film that maybe not as many people have heard of, but it's one that we're very proud of. We think some of the best work that we've done was on that project. And then a whole lot of visual effects projects too. 300, Knowing, House of Flying Daggers, etc. Sydney does both animated work, animated feature work and visual effects. Vancouver is specifically an animation house, so they won't do visual effects for the moment anyway. We continue to grow, and we have a lot of really exciting projects coming up for us. Currently, we're working on Lego 2, the sequel to the Lego movie. That's primarily being made here in Vancouver, but Sydney is in fact doing a small part of the work as well. Back in Sydney, we're also doing visual effects on Captain Marvel, which is the next big Marvel show to come out, and that's releasing in March of next year. Peter Rabbit 2 has been announced, which is great. We don't yet have a release date for that, but keep an eye and an ear out for that. And we have a whole lot of other stuff in development at the moment. I can't tell you about any of that, unfortunately, but again, as that stuff is confirmed, you'll hear about it in the press. The stuff I can talk about, the announcements I can talk about, Animal Logic Entertainment is our development arm, and we have recently announced that Animal Logic Entertainment has partnered with Warner Brothers and Imagine Entertainment to co-develop, produce and finance a range of animated and hybrid family films. We've long worked with Warner Brothers. We have a great relationship with them and we're very happy to continue that relationship. But it's fantastic to now be working with Imagine Entertainment, to be working with a great filmmaker like Ron Howard, to produce some more family films in the future. We've also announced Truant Pictures. Truant Pictures is a sub-brand for Animal Logic Entertainment, so it's a separate development brand, and it's going to focus on more genre films. It's probably going to let us do stuff that's a bit more mature, maybe thrillers, maybe things that are a bit more adult, and that's great for us to kind of push our envelope, I guess. And I also wanted to talk about the University of Technology Sydney, or UTS's Animal Logic Academy, ALA. They're currently taking applications for their 2019 cohort for their Master of Animation and Visualisation. Animal Logic Academy obviously carries our name, but they are a separate identity, a separate institution, one that we're very closely associated with. We give them as much support as we can, but they are part of the UTS brand. And ALA's Zoe Diamond will be down with us in the job fair at booth 19 if anyone's interested in finding out a bit more about Animal Logic Academy. And then just generally about the Australasian scene. As a company, we're really lucky to work along some really great studios in Australia in particular. Rising Sun Pictures down in Adelaide, Method, who are based in Melbourne, Luma, who are also based in Melbourne, Weta, who are not in Australia, of course, they're just across in New Zealand, but a short way away. And soon The Mill are going to be establishing themselves in Adelaide as well. And there's some really great smaller studios as well doing a lot of the television work, a lot of the car commercial work, companies like Slate, Cutting Edge, 6040, Z-Space, etc. And we're also very fortunate to have some world-class teaching institutions in the region. So just within Sydney alone, UTS, I've mentioned Animal Logic Academy, but they also have a separate animation course. Enmore Design Centre, who was, I think, perhaps the first institution in Australia to introduce a 3D animation course, and they continue to do some great work and turn out great graduates as well. The Academy of Interactive Entertainment, the University of New South Wales Art and Design, of which I'm a graduate, JMC, and they're just the ones in Sydney. So we're really lucky to have some fantastic courses that are turning out great graduates around Australasia. Talks that we've got happening at SIGGRAPH this year, we've kind of got a record number of animals here. 14 from the Sydney office and even more from the Vancouver office, and a great representation in presentations that are being made. Miles Green is going to be presenting Hair Today, Cloth Tomorrow, Automating Character Effects on Peter Rabbit this afternoon at 2 p.m. Luke Emrose and Roman Fedotov are going to be presenting Simulating Woven Fabrics with Weave at 2:20 this afternoon. Daniel Heckenberg is presenting Pre-Lit Materials, Light Transport for Live Action Elements in Production Rendering, and that's on at 3 p.m. this afternoon, so there's a lot happening for us this afternoon. And then Alois Bailet is presenting Forging a New Animation Pipeline with USD on Tuesday at 11:05. And then finally, Luke Emrose is returning to present a course on path tracing in production on Wednesday. So hopefully you can make it along to some of those presentations. And then finally, I can't leave without telling you about what we need, and that's for people to come on board. We have a range of jobs, as you can see there, in both Sydney and Vancouver. We're down in the job fair at job booth number 19 on Tuesday and Wednesday. So come down and see us. I'll be joined by Jimmy Ockey, who's the recruiting supervisor here in Vancouver, and also Jessica Houston, who's the recruiting assistant here in Vancouver. So come and see us, and also Zoe Diamond, who will be joining us from Animal Logic Academy. Thanks a lot.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ken Anjo. I'm the conference chair of SIGGRAPH Asia 2018 this year. And this year it will be held in Tokyo, so please come. And to persuade it, let me talk about SIGGRAPH Asia in this talk. And before that, I would also like to introduce my activities in New Zealand. So let me start with the first topic. So actually, I am the director of CIMIC, which is a new research center at Victoria University of Wellington, New Zealand. So CIMIC means Computational Media Innovation Center. And this center is quite new because it just started last January. And as you know, I'm also busy for SIGGRAPH Asia, so I'm always back and forth between two cities, Tokyo and Wellington. So, by the way, anyway, first I'd like to explain the goal of this new research center. First one is to develop an entrepreneurial pipeline. Just doing basic research, we want to establish a very nice pipeline from academic research to industry commercialization, such as making startup companies. And of course, some things should, sometimes we should start to make it, we should first start basic research. So we need such broader scope and good pipeline to make these things possible. And of course, relating to this, we will conduct research and prototyping. Prototyping is very unique feature to be found in our new research center. To create novel media technology and IP things for commercialization. So this kind of a rough sketch of the pipeline. So starting from research incubation stage and something. So first of all, we'd like to find a very practical, important problems found only in industry, not in previous SIGGRAPH papers. So we start with working with our industry partners. So far, we have two big strong companies from Japan. One is OL Digital, which probably you would know the movie like Pokemon movies or some other things. And the other one is coming from Japanese game industry. It's called Luminous Productions, and they are famous for Final Fantasy 15. So because Luminous Production is formerly worked as a part of Square Enix, but now is established as a new company since last March. But still, they are working on Final Fantasy things. And with the discussions of with these companies, then we first find a very important and very hard problem to solve. So CIMIC will help them and work together to solve these problems. And of course, main basic research aspect will be done in the research lab at CIMIC. Then, if we could kind of good correction of new techniques to solve practical issues, then we'd like to start making startup companies. So this kind of pipelines, we need big help from not only from industry ecosystem, but also from academic ecosystem as well. So, for example, Thomas' team I hope they will join us to make these kind of things possible. So this is the kind of initial member, because the CIMIC is, pretty new. Just we want to start from the scratch, so we need to find first the very small team. These people are kind of initial members. Me and TJ is a main researcher here, and also Jim Foley. Probably some of you would know him as a kind of legend of computer graphics field from Georgia Tech, and our talented staff, and also 3 postdocs and prototype team members. So before I explain more details, let's enjoy our kind of promotion video. CIMIC means Computational Media Innovation Center. It's a new research center at Faculty of Engineering, Victoria University. The goal of CIMIC is to establish an entrepreneurial pipeline from academic research to industry commercialization. We'd like to achieve this goal by introducing national and international collaborations where do research, including computer graphics, computer vision, machine learning, and virtual and augmented reality.
Internationally, augmented reality, virtual reality, and computer animation are just, in some sense, sweeping the world. What excites me about CIMIC is there's some really great computer graphics here in Wellington between the things that TJ and others are doing here at the university, the WETA activities, they're just world class. And so being able to interact with the best people in the world is just very exciting to me. Wellington is, in many ways, the world's best kept secret in terms of the research going on here. WETA is, of course, very well known, but the quality research is not yet well known. I hope to change that.
So in order to provide practical solutions for industry, we need to understand industry problem. CIMIC staff have a strong industry background already in entertainment and ICT industry. CIMIC will make a strong industry and academic link to develop cutting-edge solutions to solve real industry problems.
So, and relating to SIGGRAPH this year, we'll have some demonstration from our CIMIC team. It's called DreamPrats. This is a kind of have a very big potential being a startup company. At this SIGGRAPH, they will join the program real-time live. It will be held Tuesday evening. Then they will show some live branding techniques of virtual object into live streaming films. It's also made in 360 panoramic video. So please enjoy to join this real-time live performance. And next, let me briefly explain about SIGGRAPH Asia. The conference theme is crossover. And first, let me explain the venue of this conference. It will be held in the center of Tokyo, and the name of the facility is Tokyo International Forum, which is pretty close to Imperial Palace and JR Tokyo Station. Just taking 5 minutes walk from JR Tokyo Station. And this facility having these 5 different blocks, but we will use most of them except Hall A. And for example, the Hall C will show the electronic theater, and Hall E will be used for exhibitions. So pretty huge place. And maybe you could see, sorry, the map is too small, so let me skip that. So as usual, we have many programs for SIGGRAPH Asia. And this year also we need very new programs. So let me explain some of them. And also this year, fortunately, we have so many sponsors. Platinum sponsor is again Forum, which is also the platinum sponsor for last year's SIGGRAPH Asia. And for gold sponsors, we have 5 companies so far, and most of them coming from the Japanese game industry. And bronze sponsor also having some companies from game industry and Chizen University. And another good thing is to now is we can present the lineup of keynote speakers. It's pretty faster than previous years, I think. So first guy is coming from Jet Propulsion Laboratory. He will talk about the future of space technology and graphics. And the second speaker is Eric Domain, who is the MIT. He's a professor at MIT, and he's famous for origami scientist, but basically he's a mathematician. And the third one is Mr. Hayashi, is the kind of pioneer of robot technology in Japan. Probably some of you know the name of the robot, Pepper. He's a main guy to create that new kind of interface in the body as a robot. So he will show a new concept of robotic, his company's robot products. So this guy will give keynote talks. And also we have very interesting feature sessions like 8K technology and content session. So this year in Japan, early December, which is the same as the SIGGRAPH Asia period of time, 8K broadcasting starts in Japan. So this session reflects on this exciting moment and invites a hardware company and digital content making company to show the power of 8K technology. And also we have Realistic Humans panel session where we can invite film industry people like from Beta or from game industry in Japan. So some professor in robotics at Osaka University, they will give a talk about the future and current status of digital human and such things. Also, we have some topic kind of feature session inviting ILM and better digital people. And exhibitions, this is also good because we already have about around 70% of the exhibitor area is already booked. So we will have such very interesting and many variations of the exhibitors, such as these companies will show their cutting-edge technologies. Also, they are coming here, coming to SIGGRAPH Asia for getting new, talented young people to recruit. So probably you must enjoy these exhibitors sessions and exhibitions itself. And so please register online now. So please drop in this website. And all the value is valid until October 26th. So please join us and enjoy SIGGRAPH Asia 2018 in Tokyo. Thank you.
Yes, and we are very good friends as well. So. Okay, this is not full screen, I guess. Yeah, this okay. Cool. Okay, so my name is Tomasz Bednarz, and I'm the SIGGRAPH Asia 2019 conference chair. So following the SIGGRAPH Asia 2019 will be held in Brisbane in Australia, so following Ken's conference in Tokyo. So very, very happy to actually host it in Brisbane because we hope that every single Japanese person and every single person that comes to conference this year will come as well to following conference in Australia. So before I start, I wanted to proudly say we're showing, actually logo is shown for the very first time publicly. So we put it on Twitter and stuff, but the very first time, you can see it's a kangaroo, so it's representing Australia, and it's actually made of meshes, triangles, so it represents computer graphics, and as well it has Australian colors, so it's like a green and gold, and we have as well Southern Cross representing down under. So I hope you recognize this logo from now on until the December next year as well. So I hope you like that. So a few words about myself. So I am currently Director and Head of Visualization at the Expanded Perception Interaction Center, which is at the UNSW Art and Design faculty. And I'm as well team leader in visual analytics at CSIRO Data 61, which is like the digital powerhouse for Australia. And as well adjunct associate professors at the QUT in Brisbane in applied and computational mathematics. I'm as well individual Kronos member. And I love being very, very heavy, like this international flavor. So I'm from Europe. I lived in Japan before, so I love having SIGGRAPH Asia coming to Japan before coming to Australia. I lived in US for some time and now in Australia for many, many years. And I have very international, so like my wife is Korean. So it's actually true international, you know, like a spirit, I think. And as well, a very, very old school demo scener. So if you are brave to stay after these sessions, we have demo scene sessions, we're going to be making lots of noise. So stay and, you know, enjoy with us a bit of real-time computer graphics. That's going to be as well like a spot-on session. And my demo scene was called Warlock, so you can call me Warlock or Tomasz if you wish. So I'll tell you a few words about Epicenter before we go to SIGGRAPH Asia. So Epicenter is high-performance visualization center, and what we're doing there is visual analytics on steroids, so using high-performance visualization to solve very complex problems using visualizations and various interactive techniques. And I don't know why this is jumping straight away. We have like 4 very unique labs in Epicenter. So Epicylinder, which is currently the highest resolution cylindrical screen in the world. So it's almost 120 million pixels in 3D. We have Dome Lab, almost 7 meters in diameter, full dome, where you can actually visualize animations and enjoy the very complex sciences explained in a very simple way by using just animation and storytelling. Mixed reality labs, so something perhaps that Ken is doing in his labs as well, mixing various of VR and AR devices and trying to make sense of it. And IVRC, that's another lab that hosts another cylindrical screen with a motion capture lab. And we have supercomputers as well sitting underground. So we have like GPU cluster and CPU cluster to speed up some of our computations. So this is how it works. We have like 56 screens on Epicylinder, and that constitutes 120 million pixels in 3D almost. We have supercomputer you can see on the right-hand side. We use it for calculating very heavy mathematical equations, but as well we can defrost the cakes. So our software engineers sometimes are bringing frozen cakes. So we put them just at the back of the supercomputers and we put some compute so they are ready before coffee is ready. And then we do a bunch of different projects. So I won't be talking much about this particular one. It's one of our core projects, which is looking at a huge amount of data coming from the genomics research. So if you are keen to hear a bit more, we have poster at SIGGRAPH Asia that will be presented on Wednesday. So come and see, and Dominic is sitting here. So Dominic was one of the core people in my team developing the project, so you can ask him questions if you're interested. So basically it's a combination of a large screen and very high resolution pixel real estate to browse genomics data sets. And we have like a mix of AR HoloLens in the mix to browse through the data sets as well. So it's very, very powerful how we do that. We do as well research in drugs discovery. So this particular project was with the collaborations with the School of Medicine, where we're looking at the single cell and we're using VR to get into the data and touch the points and try to discover the possible cure for the cancer. So if you have any questions about that, I can explain afterwards as well. And we do as well a couple of projects such as massive networks. So that was presented 2 days ago at the High Performance Graphics Conference, where we're trying to visualize networks of like 1 billion nodes. And this is heavily used, for instance, can be heavily used for immigration and border protections or cybersecurity, where you can actually browse through the data very, very quickly and discover different patterns and different correlations between different points in the network visualization points. We have as well a bit of, this is a bit like demo scene-ish scene, which is using fragment shaders. So for those of you who know like a shader toy, it's using one of the examples there, but we have the highest resolution shaders in the world, so 120 million pixels in 3D. It looks absolutely stunning. We are 20 minutes away from the Bondi Beach. We never go to Bondi because we can simulate the ocean just inside the Epicylinder. Right? So super cool. And what else we have? We have as well hemispherical dome I mentioned. So it's very, very cool. We can lie underneath. So if you come to visit us, and feel free to do that anytime you are in Sydney, then you can lie under the dome and observe the animations that we visualize on the hemispherical dome. So now we are in Australia. So I wanted to show you in particular a couple of features when you, how many of you are from Australia? That's not many, okay, that's awesome. How many of you want to come to Australia next year? Not many, really. Look at this. So we have those beautiful animals in the country. So it's very unique nature, as you know. So we have kangaroos, we have beautiful fishes, we have koalas, we have turtles, and so on. So if you like computer graphics, you can come and visit as well the nature. And hopefully we're going to be having, usually at SIGGRAPH we have Stanford bunny, but maybe some of you will be brave enough to use some kind of kangaroo, meshed kangaroo, right? Next year and doing any kind of simulations. That will be super awesome. So the SIGGRAPH Asia will be in Brisbane. So this is a snapshot of the Brisbane. So Brisbane is Australian New World city. And it's actually quite spectacular, and it's very similar in some way to Vancouver, in my opinion, because I always feel like Vancouver feels almost the same for some reason, I don't know. And this is a view on the CBD and Brisbane River from the bird's view. And we have some, of course, Aboriginal people as well. They're having different festivals in the country. So this is a snapshot shown from Laura Aboriginal Dance Festival. And at SIGGRAPH Asia, we will have all of that in a mix. So a bit of animals, a bit of Aboriginal dancing, hopefully, a bit of computer graphics, a bit of city, a bit of everything. So a couple of Brisbane fast facts. So Brisbane is on East Coast, and it's closest Australian capital city to Asia. So if you are from Asia, it's actually not too far to come along. And as well from US, it's not a big deal as well. And Europe, it's a bit long travel, but it's worth really. So seeing all these kangaroos, spiders, and snakes, right? So Brisbane is Australia's New World city. So 146 billion economy. It's a subtropical climate, so it's actually almost we have sunny weather. So I can predict that perhaps in November next year we can do barbecues almost every night, okay? So it should be like that. Well, sometimes, there are exceptions, but Mark can actually say it's true, right? Of course. So populations of 2.2 million, so it's quite a large city, and more than a quarter of Brisbane residents were born overseas, so it means Brisbane is very international, and you come to Brisbane, you're going to be feeling that. And it's as well research and innovation hub. So lots of actually startups are happening in Brisbane at the moment in the fields of life science, energy resources, food, agriculture, business, and advanced manufacturing as well. So I mentioned as well it's a close destination to many different locations. So it's 29 international destinations from the Brisbane airport, so direct connections. So New Zealand, Asia, you have direct connections from Vancouver if you're from Vancouver. And as well all over the place, and then some other cross connections as well, so it's not very hard. So when we're coming from Sydney, and 2 days ago we had to fly through Los Angeles, and from Los Angeles to Vancouver wasn't a big deal really, so it's not very far away from anywhere in the globe. And to close this, I wanted to show you, I don't want to talk much perhaps at the moment. We're going to be revealing that step by step. At the moment the focus is Tokyo, so I encourage everybody to come to Tokyo, talk to us in Tokyo about Brisbane as well, connect with us, and start planning your papers for Brisbane as well, okay, already, because it will be worth the game. Now I want to show you the animations which is coming from Brisbane marketing, and showing the promotions about the Brisbane, so you can see how Brisbane look like and how it feels. So hope you will enjoy that. Yeah, so I'm very serious. Start planning already because it's going to be great experience. To tell you like a couple of words more, just I have 3 more slides, I promise, and I'm done. The convention center is very, very nicely located. I don't know whether I can show you on the... okay, so the convention center is located in here, which is like along the south bank and the Brisbane River. So you can actually walk in here, and the city center is just in here. So it's like around 10 to 15 minutes walk, depending when you'll be staying, if you're going to be staying in one of the hotels in the city, or a couple of hotels around the place. We have actual art galleries precinct, so it's just across the street. So very, very convenient locations for doing all the touristy stuff, but as well being linked with the art, science, design, engineering, whatever you like to enjoy in Brisbane. And the convention center is actually quite spectacular as well. So in 2016, the convention center was awarded as a best convention center in the world. And I hope you're gonna enjoy that as well, because it's absolutely well organized, and you should have like enjoyable as well like feeling inside the convention center. And Ken presented a bit about the programs, and those are our programs that are upcoming. So very similar to Ken's program, we have very good alignment together with what we're trying to run. In Brisbane, we're trying to do some additional things that will be a bit different. So on the top of what Ken is doing in Tokyo, we'll be trying to do as well like demo scene event. So if you are a demo scener, we'll be trying to make sure that demo scene is part of the program. So it's going to be very interesting for those who are demo sceners, and you can start preparing your productions as well. So start writing the code already, because I hope they're going to be the competitions as well. And we'll be trying to run as well studio. So let's see how it happens. So that's it from me. And yeah, please come and join us next year. We're going to the same, yeah, sorry. We're going from the same laptop. Just run it.
Thank you, Thomas. Good morning, or is it afternoon? I think it's afternoon now, so good afternoon. My name is Mark Barry. It's a little bit of a different pace for me, because I'm not going to talk about conferences. I'm not going to talk about giving you a job, although maybe. What I want to talk to you about is the visualisation facilities at the University of the Sunshine Coast. So if you do come to see Thomas, I'm about an hour and a half north. And if you want to go surfing, then that's a good place to come and visit me on the Sunshine Coast. Okay, is that a good plug? Oh, if you also want to know about the Brisbane weather, I have lived there for about 40 years, so I can also tell you the good, bad and the ugly. All right, let's get on with this one. I think I can use that. All right, so in 2015, USC was happy to get a new building, and in that new building, the executive put themselves in an interesting position. They said, we want a world-class fancy visualisation facility. And they went, what's that? They then went on a major drive to find out what that was. In the end, we ended up with 3 facilities, or the order of that wasn't quite right. There was a visualisation studio which houses a cave 2. So they eventually did find themselves to EVL in Chicago. They walked in and went, fantastic, that's exactly what we want. And they said to the guys there, what do you do with this? Who do you teach with this? And the guys at EVL, and my apologies if they're only in the audience, went, what do you mean? We're the computer science guys, we build this thing. What USC wanted was not a computer science, computer graphics environment. They wanted to actually teach all of their undergraduate programs with this thing. I think there were some stunned looks from the guys, but with the demos that they showed, the academics that went on that particular trip went, that's what we want. And as a consequence, we started to build content for this particular cave. And we stacked lots of people in it. That photo is really probably from an opening day, and there are far too many people in there to be learning anything specific, apart from having a bit of a wow factor. But in reality,
what we do in the environment is to take students on small journeys and allow them, or actually we